This is perfection. You know, something amazes me about this guy's name. See, if you are a software developer, or if you know you are a software developer, please bring out your writing pad. See, I am telling you, bring out your writing pad. You know, most of the times when perfection speaks, I used to carry my biro and I would start writing. You know, this guy is not from this planet. Yes, I tell you. You know, message perfection in the midnight, or okay, most of the times we get to message ourselves in the midnight. It's just that we have stopped calling ourselves by 2 a.m., 3 a.m., all right? So message perfection at any point. Just message him 4 a.m., he's replying you. Message him by 2 a.m. So sometimes even when I want to sleep and I message perfection, I say, oh, perfection is not sleeping. Wait, this is motivation. Even for me, right? Please, I tell you, you should, and please don't punish yourself by keeping yourself awake when you're not doing anything. Me, I am very blunt. Don't keep yourself awake when you're not doing anything. All right? Don't keep yourself awake when you are not doing anything. So work responsibility, what is keeping you awake. All right? So perfection has 5 years experience. He's a software engineer that is skilled in the design, development, integration, and okay. In fact, I want to see some things in the comment section using Golang, Python, TypeScript, Node.js, JavaScript, and other related technologies. And I hope you guys are seeing that all these things I mentioned, they align with each other. Not that I'm saying Java, and I'm now saying another thing, I'm saying that, then I'm now saying Python. So I should be able to connect those things. These are web languages, like crazy web languages. All right. He's a blockchain developer too. He works with the company in Singapore. He works at Cover 360 and he works with Black Ink. Perfection. I want to now they collect. So he's significantly knowledgeable in the workings of the web. And some of you must have seen some of his publications before at Tech Digest. Just type Tech Digest, Cholatrek. Just type it on Google. Data structure and algorithms, or you call it algorithm, whichever one you call it. Data structures and algorithms. He has a publication on it. 8 publications. Go and check this thing out. That's one. Number 2, he has some publications on how to write your LinkedIn profile, to build your LinkedIn profile. He has some on how to answer interview questions. He has publication. So he used to host Tech Digest at Cholatrek to do all of this. And lastly, he did something on permissionless apprenticeship. Type it, permissionless apprenticeship. See, I don't like to talk too much. I'm already exhausting my what's it called? I'm already exhausting my. Help me finish that English. So, guys, can we welcome perfection? Use your favorite emoji. I just want to see the comment section. I just want it to start properly. Like I want to see things. Like I'm ready to see things. I want to see things. I want to see things. I want to see things. Okay. So, perfection. It's high time. You show your face. Can we see your face? So, I'm going to be giving perfection. So, perfection has a few things to share with us first. Then I will ask perfection some questions, a couple of questions. So, within the next 5 minutes, perfection is just going to speak. Like, perfection is a perfectionist. Take it or leave it. This guy wrote over 150 APIs. Like, I will not bother to say. He wrote over 150 APIs for a particular application. I'm not just saying that. He built a full learning management system. Single-handedly built this. Amplify.xyz was built by perfection. This product outrun and outlive surpasses bit.ly. I know some of you have seen bit.ly. I don't want to say too much. Perfection. Can we have you? We want to see your face. Perfection, speak. Is perfection with us?
Hello, I'm not here. I'm not here.
Yeah, perfection. Okay, good. I'm happy to see you.
God
level developer.
Good night.
Developer. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Sure. I can hear you.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So, thank you, everyone. Like you mentioned already, my name is Perfection Loveday, right? Popularly known as Perfection. Yeah. So, I'm a software engineer, right? But I don't like recently I've stopped calling myself a software engineer. So right now I just call myself a magician. So why do I call myself a magician? It owes to the fact that I do my thing and you don't have to know the way it works. It just works. So don't ask me. When the magician is like performing magic, you are there, you are saying the magical act, right? You don't know the way it happens. You just know that somebody disappeared. Yeah, that's exactly the way it is. So you just see that the application is working. You don't have to worry about the way it works. Let me handle that part. So that's why I call myself the magician. So now, what do I do magic with? Well, instead of using potions like other magicians, I use like programming languages, right? In the realms of TypeScript, Python, JavaScript, and more recently Golang, right? So I've been enjoying that one quite a lot. Yeah. So I currently work with a few organizations, right? So those are the people that are feeding me. If not, if I don't see me for your doorstep. Yeah, so those are the people that are feeding me, right? And one is Cover 360, another is Black Ink, and the most recent one is Lighthouse. Lighthouse is a decentralized storage solution provider, right? Cover 360 is a logistics solution provider, and I'm really like into logistics, right? Supply chain and all of that. And then Black Ink is more like what you call, I think it's called this one that senior developer's job. I don't know what the name is again, but I know it starts with something like A. Yeah, Andela. More like Andela, right? Yeah. So with Black, I basically work with other partners at Black, which is Digitalize. Digitalize is a Solana NFT marketplace. So it's like something you search and you check out like what we are doing there. So today I'm just like here to just basically like tell you about myself and how I got started, answer your questions and all of that. But before like I start saying like the more information, I would probably like let Shagun like take back the control, and if there's a way he wants me to like speak, construct, if there's a particular question he wants to ask me, then I could always answer afterwards. Thank you.
Okay, we have heard from Perfection. He said some companies are feeding him. So Perfection, please feed us as well. No? So as you have been fed, please feed us also. Okay, I have some couple of questions for Perfection. So Perfection, can you share your professional experience with respect to how like you got started inside this tech career? Like just share your experience with Johnny, like what it is, your professional experience. Can you share it with us? We want to know.
Okay, so for me, I'm not professionally experienced. All those ones are cap. I'm not I'm not professionally experienced. I just know how to do something that makes things work the way people want it to work, and then I get paid for doing that particular thing. Somebody is like giving us some soundtrack here. I was with Mustafa. That's cool. All right, so basically, some people will want to categorize themselves under something relating to maybe senior, junior, all of that. I'm one of those people that don't categorize myself as such. I'm just somebody that is just doing my own thing. So how did I get started in this whole thing? Right, getting to like the position I am now is definitely not one of those easy things. So like the position is good, right? The benefit that comes with it is a lot, but definitely you should know that it's not exactly something that you just snap your fingers and it happens. This is not infinity gauntlet, right? So you should know all of those type of things and have that in mind, that by the time you know you want to get something out of life, you must be ready to like sacrifice the particular thing necessary. That's your hard work. You must be ready to sacrifice all of that. So then when something that thing in place, then definitely the opportunity will show forth. It's something I definitely know, right? There's a friend of mine that is into front end, right? And he started like getting jobs quite recently. And the only way he's able to do that is because he has the skill set, right? If he doesn't have the skill set, nobody is definitely going to like give him anything, right? And the job he's getting is in the realms of hundreds of thousands, right? Which is like quite reasonable. I mean, if you make that amount of money, it's going to like make a difference in your life, and that's important. But it's important to know that getting started is going to like be a tough journey. So for me, when I started, that was like quite like years ago, right? I started like going through resources online, trying to like search things, put this together. In fact, I started with Python, right? When I like started programming, I started like touching Python and all of that. But I'm like, how do you make this thing work? Because if you write Python, you definitely know it doesn't have exactly, it's not exactly UI friendly, except you start connecting that allow for that, right? So I just started working in the terminal. I'm just saying something printing in the terminal. Okay, this is just something printing. How do people get to use this thing to like do all those amazing things that we use? How is all these softwares on your phone working and all of that? So all of that, I started like trying to put things together, right? Which really slowed a lot of things down. Definitely, it slowed a lot of things down. If I had like probably had something to guide me or someone or probably like a group or something, like a community to guide me, it would have probably been faster, that type of thing. So it would have probably like helped me like maybe move to a larger, maybe I'll have been working at Google now, but I'm not interested in Google yet. Yeah. So that type of thing, right? So you have to know that when you want to like get started in all of this and you want to get good experience, you have to like have the right community, you have to be in the right community, you have to take advantage of like somebody that is guiding you on the steps to take, because definitely all of us will be able to see somebody else say, oh, I finished learning this, I finished learning that, I finished picking up this, I finished picking up that. If I pick up 200 things, if you still no work, that's the thing, right? If you don't have the correct guidance and the correct community around you, that type of thing. So that's like one thing I'll say. So when I got started, it was not easy, but over time, for it to like switch, right? It was when I started networking with the right people. Like Shegun said initially, like network is an important thing. The company at Singapore where I work, I was actually recommended by someone. So it's a friend of mine that recommended me, right, to the company. And then definitely you have to be able to like cook your beans. And when I say cook your beans, it means you have to be able to sell yourself, like Shegun has been saying. I don't say sell yourself, I say cook your beans. So you must be able to like cook your beans. You must be able to cook your beans to the particular person that's trying to like bring you on board, that type of thing. Then you convince them of what you can do, even if you have to still learn it on the job. Convince them, that type of thing, right? You can't know everything at once. Every developer can testify to that. You can't know everything at once. You just have to keep learning things all over and over. But be ready to commit the hard work. Don't think you've learned something 3 months. There's a guy that called me today, right? He told me he wanted to get into tech. That time I was still writing, because I was a former writer, right? So I write because I enjoy writing. It's like built in. So I still write, but not for people anymore. So he too, it was like writing. I told him, okay, I guided him on the aspect of writing, because that was what I know then, right? So he too started like picking up writing and doing one or two things, right? Then he said he needed a computer. I'm like, keep doing what you are doing. If it's writing, you keep doing this writing stuff. When you get the computer, then you can shift to learning things relating to tech, right? No problem. So he picked up this whole software thing just like a couple of months ago, right? It's not even up to 3 months that I started learning CSS and HTML, but he's able to like build stuff like that actually really good. And because of what he's doing, it's amazing him, right? The coverage, they amaze me, and that's interesting, right? But still, the fact that you can build all these things doesn't essentially mean you're already like guaranteed to get a job. You are not yet in shape, right? I don't think, when did you start? You started 2 months ago. Relax. See, there's money in the space. Yes, we know that. There's no dispute to that. But at the same time, the space requires patience, right? Patience with correct work. So if you are patient and you know they put work, you'll see shaggy. So it's always important that you are patient and then you are learning continuously. Someone said you can't hear anything.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, I think Alabi Paul, probably you should like exit and like join again. So that
Or you can
that
just
is
refresh
research
your
for you.
network.
Yeah. So the guy started like learning, like I'm like, you've not used like a lot of period in this thing. Keep learning. And then I told him, okay, do you know JavaScript? He said he knows JavaScript to some extent. I'm like, you see, to some extent. That's problem, first of all. You tell the company, what is it? I know JavaScript to some extent. What's that? No, that's definitely that's not it. That's not the way you actually handle things like that. So I'm like, okay, what is Firebase? Do you know like Firebase? Okay, build like an application that will take advantage of Firebase and all. He said, what's Firebase? I'm like, see, that's the problem. You don't even know what Firebase is, and you say you're ready to like pick up jobs. You are telling me you want jobs yet. You've not gotten to the position yet. Be ready to commit the time. That's important. Like that is necessary. Be ready to commit the time and the effort into this thing, and patiently learn while connecting with people, right? And if you can it's something I will always advise. Take advantage of something that is structured, right? And a structured environment. If you can see people that will guide you, that okay, even if you have to pay for it, I will really say it, sacrifice whatever it takes, pay for something, right? That's necessary. Diego was telling us the other time that he took a course on, he took his MBA, right, at the company that I spent over 400,000. That's that's like huge money, right? But the advantage that comes with it is what is necessary. You have to like sacrifice. So that's like one thing that is important. Always know that. So sacrifice is necessary. Check told you if you message me at 4 o'clock, I'll respond. Now they sleep, I beg. But I still respond 4 o'clock. So when do I sleep? Even me, I don't know when I sleep. I just know that I sleep.
Responder again.
And sleep is like necessary, right? Despite the fact I put it that sleep is necessary. I've not gotten to the pyramid yet. There's actually no pyramid. You just keep pushing. But still, I've not gotten to some position where I want to be, right? But I still keep doing what I want to do. But many want to get to the position where I am. And I'll tell you, you can always get to more than the position I am. When people started before me, they've gone much more than where I am. And that's okay. This is not a competition. You do your stuff. I'm comfortable where I am. I can afford the life I want to live, right? So that's cool. So just understand that when you're getting started, you have to put in the effort. You have to be patient, right? You have to connect with the right people. If you can get an environment that will teach you a structured pattern, take advantage of it. That's necessary, right? If it requires some financial sacrifice, do it. I can tell you that financial sacrifice, do it. I have people that have paid for stuff, and right now, what they make is enough to cover for what they paid for. So just know that. I'll have to mute someone here. I'm an admin if you don't know. I have to mute you if you are doing anyhow. Thank you, I'm muting you. Don't ask me I muted this magic. Yeah, so just know that you have to be ready to commit a lot. Yeah, thank you.
Perfection, thank you. If you got value from that, from just the few minutes you spent, I want to see a comment. At least if you got any value, I want to see a comment. Oh, you people did not get value. I think we are going to round up the webinar. Oh, you got value. Okay. I thought you wanted to sleep on it because I was going to round up the webinar. I would say, let's close shop for the night. But it's like you guys are still motivating me. They motivate me. No wala. So perfection, we are still here for you. So what are the opportunities available in software engineering, and what is the money back like? Please, I want you to say the figures. Like, see. Don't worry, your company people are not here and your village people are not on this call. All right. So you are free to express yourself.
Okay, so when it comes to the opportunities, a lot, right? Though you should understand that everything is just a market, right? If despite the fact that it's still it's like, yeah, we understand that this is tech and there's a lot of things in it, but you should still understand that it's a market. Market has shifts, but still, despite the fact that there's shifts, the reason why it is good because it's tech is that the shift isn't global. It isn't like a global shift. It's not something that happens on a global fabric, right? It could, like currently they said all these top companies that are pausing hiring, right? Companies like Google, companies like Microsoft, companies like GitHub are pausing hiring, right? But they are still hiring for senior engineers, but they are pausing some hirings for intermediate and lower. And this is something that's understandable because of some economic situation at US, right, in the United States. But this will not continue forever, right? That's just US. Other companies are still hiring. Nigeria is still hiring. Now, the way you should look at the opportunities like this, go to all these job boards and all of these things. Google search open jobs, right, that posted recently. You see a lot. Check LinkedIn. LinkedIn is enough to just give you like an overview on the amount of jobs that's available.
Sorry for cutting you. Some people said that LinkedIn stuff is not real. So I want you to balance this thing. It's because this thing is close to what you are saying. So I want you to balance that thing. People see jobs on LinkedIn and they feel like, I've always applied, not to get it. Why are they not getting it? Like, help me tell them that it is real.
Yeah. So just keep in mind the jobs that are on LinkedIn, at least you can guarantee to a significant degree that 80% of them are valid jobs, right? Definitely we can't definitely like neglect the aspect of people that want to like just do things for play. I could decide and say I just want to post a job for cruise, but still that's not something you get to see all the time because LinkedIn is not something that a lot of people are just there, right? So it's something that it's like structured. It's not like a regular social media that you are used to. So you should understand that the jobs you find on LinkedIn are really actually authentic ones. And if you apply to them and you're not getting like a response, you should know that the resume or your portfolio to them doesn't exactly fit what they need. It doesn't mean you are not good enough. Just understand that one. You might be very good and you should apply. As I am like this, I still apply and get rejected. So everybody they chop breakfast. That's normal. If you don't chop see, it's something that I believe. If you don't lose, then you don't understand what it is to win. It's that simple. So if it's just like it's because of the rain that we understand the value of the sun, that type of thing. That's the way it kind of works. So if it's always sunny, you won't understand what it means to actually experience sunlight. If it's always
Somebody
good,
dropped it down.
you won't understand what it means to actually experience goodness, right? So just understand that it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It might be that your location doesn't fit into their own. A company in the United States reached out to me, right? They sent a message that I should check out their job portal, that one of their jobs might fit me, that I should apply. Then I applied. Then the HR messaged me back. He was like, where am I located? I said Nigeria. They said, oh, that they are hiring remotely, but they're not hiring somebody outside of their country. Their remote is like restricted to the United States. I'm not there. And they're not like trying to like expand to a different country. So it doesn't mean I did not fit their role. It just means I did not fit the particular candidate they needed at that particular point in time. So you should also understand that. Just keep doing this thing. I can't count how many rejections I've gotten. Everybody, breakfast is normal. Just understand that one. So the opportunity is a lot. Just know that one. Companies are evolving over time in Nigeria. That's something you should know. Just Nigeria alone, companies are growing at scale, like a lot of companies. And it's these companies that we end up hiring people like me, people like you eventually. And that's the way it works. You have companies growing in Africa, like a lot of companies emerging in Africa. These companies need software. Everybody needs software now. And it's these companies that will eventually hire you. It's these companies that will eventually hire me. That type of thing. So you should understand it too. Now look at Africa. Look at every continent we have. All these people are creating companies. Now tell me if the opportunity is not a lot. Like companies are hiring. Check Twitter. Just search for we are hiring. It's enough. Just search for I am hiring. Twitter alone is crazy. The other day I see one guy that was hiring for Goland, right? He said he's building something and he doesn't want to like die. That is the one building it alone. He doesn't want to die. So he's currently hiring a Golang engineer. Then I sent him a DM. I'm like, boss, I don't want me to die. Let me pick up the position for you. Right. So by the time he will respond to me, I've already like gotten another position offer somewhere. So I did not respond back to him. He actually sent me the first stage of interview. I did not respond back to him. So look at that type of thing. Me, I'm even neglecting offer. The other day I had an interview with an employer from a recruiter from Jumia. Right. So the only thing that did not make me continue with Jumia was because they needed me to be coming to the office. They said you have to be coming just once in a week. I said I can't come. See, I don't like things that will bring me outside of my house. It's that simple. If you want to carry me outside of my house, I'm not doing. Keep it. Then the recruiter was like, they will see if they can have anything for me, but I know they don't have anything. They want me to be able to come to Lagos at least once in a week. That's just 4 times in a month, but I still want to do it. So you should get the idea I'm just trying to like give to you here is that you should understand that the opportunity is there very much. And the money bag, just understand that it's like stage by stage. So it doesn't mean, this is something people get wrong. You get into software and you're expecting to start making 100,000 in like how many weeks, or 200,000 or 500,000 or in dollars in like how many weeks. It's not like that. This thing is stage by stage. Check Twitter and people that are posting like their salary progression. Right? You will see it. Some of them started from 30,000. I know a guy that works at a US company, works at Auto Credit. This guy started from Patricia as an intern, right? And Patricia was paying him 50,000. Look at that, Patricia 50,000 as an intern. Now this guy still works at Patricia, but when I was asking him his salary, right? At that time I was even not making up to that amount. When I was asking his salary, I was like, is it over 500,000? He said normal. You know, there's a difference between when you tell me your salary is over 500,000, and you tell me normal. You know, when they tell you you don't do normal, that type of thing. So it's like, it's like normal. My salary is for me that was like crazy, right? But now when you tell me salary is over 500,000, I'll be like, okay, no problem, that's understandable. So it's something that I myself make over that in a month. So I'm like, okay, no problem, makes sense, that's reasonable. But when he said normal, that was actually like one mad inspiration for me. I was like, this one talk normal for 500k. It means we say go enter this tech to go reach there. But then I understood that this is not an immediate stuff, right? It's time dependent and dependent on the action you can put in, the hard work, the learning spirit you have. And I continued like learning and making sure that I'm connecting with the right people and making sure the learning is structured. That's an important thing. But my own was able to like progress. That was after I've like gotten like a structure to it. So that's why I always like advise people, if you can get the structured learning, if you can really pay for some things, pay for it, right? Take advantage of structured learning. It's necessary. That's like really one thing that is good. So that's the idea. You already get it. If you can, over 500,000 is part of the money bag. And if you are working with something foreign, if you get to a certain level, you start to like explore foreign opportunities. You get to a foreign company, and foreign companies start paying you in the realms of dollars. If you make $1,000, you know that with the rate of dollar now, that's over 600,000. I think dollar is now 658. That's the news going around. So with the rate of dollar now, that's over 650,000, right? Then imagine you are getting over that. I have somebody that is saying the guy left Trade Depot. Trade Depot is one logistics company, and he left Trade Depot to a company that a US company that is paying him over 4,000 USD. That's crazy. That's crazy opportunity, right? But this guy did not just start yesterday. He did not start 6 months ago. This guy did not even start 1 year ago. He has started more than 2 years ago, right? And this is it. Some people can start just 6 months and get opportunity. Understand that, right? Luck is built into the system. That's something people should understand. Luck is something that plays in our life, and it's something that we neglect. Despite your hard work, luck is an essential factor. If you do the mathematics, I like mathematics, so I can't start giving you the probability of all of this. But if you do the mathematics of it, or you go to YouTube and Google search success paradox, you will see a video that explains the success to you as a concept of luck, right? So luck can factor in, and you get an opportunity. Because imagine something like this, right? Imagine you were not born at a particular time. Imagine you were born the time when we had World War and they're still killing people. If you don't die, that type of thing, right? This opportunity we have to be able to experience TikTok, experience all of these things and watch all these things on TikTok. Luck is built into the system. So imagine people that they were born at that point in time, they don't have this opportunity or something. Imagine people that are born in a certain location, that their own location, no matter how they try, they can't actually make something significant. So luck is also part of the system. Understand that. That's like important. But luck will only work for you if you have like your work put into it. So you have to put the hard work into it for the luck to really like work for you. It's just like that. The hard work you put into it, the more you put hard work, the more you like increase your sense at which you tell yourself it's your hard work that will pay off. The greater your probability of falling in luck. That's just like the mathematics behind it. So understand that one, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Somebody say wisdom. Somebody say wisdom. I want to see that. Wisdom. Aha.
Wisdom.
Okay. That's
Wisdom.
very
Wisdom. Hey.
That's very interesting. Okay.
Wisdom.
I have the last question for you, Perfection. Our time is really running out. Okay. The last question is, what is the importance of mentorship? You have even mentioned some of these things already, so you may just brush it up. Importance of mentorship and community, structured learning with regards to success.
Yeah. So I think you said it already, that I've mentioned it, and that's the thing. I will always say it once again. Something that is structured is very important. Like very, very important. You can't really like deny that fact. So if you get access to something that can train you from the ground up and guide you on how to go about things, you will really make a lot of difference. That's just the thing. So me, whatever it takes, even if it's financial sacrifice it. Whatever it takes. Just if you Chama, come and explain this process to me, right? This is necessary. And that's something me I will always say. Just take advantage of mentorship if you can, right? Take advantage of it. It's necessary. It's important. It will actually scale you faster. You know, you want to travel fast in this thing, take advantage of it. It will scale you faster. That's just the way it goes. So you have to, because the people that will mentor you are people that are already in the field, right? So if I'm to mentor you, on something, right, it's because I already like have experience in this thing. So my light is gone now. I don't know, my solar has gone off. I definitely don't know why. So
all right. Okay, so thank you very much, Perfection. That was, really insightful.
Sorry, just give me some minutes. Let me check out why that went off. But yeah, okay, thank you.
No problem. So prior to the time that Perfection comes back, so I want us to ask our questions, right? Put it in the comment section. If you are bold enough, unmute yourself. Okay, I want it to come through raising of hands. I want it to be organized. So I want it to be organized. So raise up your hand if you want to. Okay. So let me open the queue. Oh, we have a lot of people. Okay. No wahala. Okay, Paul Onogu. Paul Onogu. Okay. Okay. What do you mean by can I learn web development without hearing JavaScript? Okay, next scholarship, you will know. Paul, okay. You know what? Just unmute yourself. I have too many hands and I'm confused already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Perfection. Somebody asked a question. Okay, somebody wants to talk now.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, good evening. Okay.
All right. All right. Yeah, you can speak.
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Please, I want to ask some couple of questions.
Okay.
My name is Nasir Abdul Karim.
Okay.
Okay. Currently a student of OAU of Afemi Awolowo University, 400 level.
Okay.
Can you hear me, sir?
Sure. You can just speak. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Like on my LinkedIn profile, I put some details like containing my job role as a front-end developer. So, like about some weeks back, an MD of a company messaged me. She was like, I should submit my CV if I'm interested for the particular role I placed like on my profile for her company. So I like submitted the CV, and after like some weeks I was called upon, which is today. But the thing is that I have a little bit of technical knowledge, yes, but my experience, my professional work experience is very low. In fact, it's like 0 to 1. So I was called upon today to have interview, and then during the interview session, I was asked some couple of questions. For example, the first one was they invited the the head of tech department, and the man started asking some question. One of the question was that he saw some things like data science in my CV, and then he saw that I'm applying for front end. That can I tell him more about data science? And I was like, no, that I'm really majored in front end developer. So let me go straight to the point. So then he began to ask some question. It was like I've mentioned some JavaScript framework and some frameworks, and it was like, am I familiar with JavaScript vanilla? So the thing is, I know JavaScript vanilla, I see them online, but I don't really know what that particular word entails, vanilla. So, but I'm like, to some degree, I'm very good with JavaScript. So I was like, no, because I don't want to lie. So then it was like, if I'm not conversant with JavaScript, then you can't employ me. That with like having the framework alone.
Nasir, Nasir,
Yes,
can
sir.
you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, can you jump to the question as fast as possible? Because we still have a lot of things to cover and we don't want to spend beyond
Okay.
time.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. So the thing is that he asked that do I understand JavaScript vanilla? And to me, I didn't know that JavaScript vanilla was the same thing as JavaScript. So I said no. But later I was like, he can't employ me if I don't know JavaScript. And I said I know JavaScript, but I didn't know JavaScript was vanilla. So I don't know if that question is going to like affect my chance of getting the job. And the second question was that, like, how good am I in deploying API with JavaScript? And I was like, to some extent, I don't know, because it's an entry-level job. I don't know if I'm right about that. So it has been upon my mind to ask, and thank God is the best platform for me to ask. Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah, perfection.
Okay, so the first thing is the fact that you asked if you know vanilla JavaScript, and you said no. That's a problem already. It means you're though it's entry level, right? But it's more like entry level is more like junior, and vanilla is kind of like a word everybody throws around. That's the thing. So if you've been exposing yourself to other people, they would have mentioned vanilla. That's one thing. And if you've seen it, you'd have asked the question, oh, what's vanilla? So if you guys are saying vanilla, so vanilla, you already know now that it's just your plain old JavaScript. So the fact that you can't answer that question is kind of like this guy doesn't even know what he writes. So all you just build on top is framework. It kind of like lowers the person's like expectation on, oh, will this guy be able to like fit into our role, that type of thing. So it's basically like reducing your, actually I'll have to give it to you straight, it's actually going to like reduce your chances. But now that you know that, right, that shouldn't demoralize you. That's something you should just know. Importantly, the fact that you said you answered wrongly now, and you knowing that shouldn't demoralize your chances. Now you are mentioning something about deploying APIs. Is it a back end role or a front end role? Because I think you mentioned front end. So if it's a front end role, then deploying APIs isn't exactly your thing, except if they want you to fit in as someone handling both back end and front end. So it's always important to clarify with companies what you'll be doing before you get into a company and you start handling much more than they hired you for. So some companies might want to do some of that where they might want to give you different tasks to be handling. That's much more than what they enrolled you in for. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I think it should have. Okay, did it answer your question?
Nasir,
Okay.
you are muted if you are speaking. Okay, I think we could move to the next person, so we just like
Okay.
were able to clear
Okay,
it
and
faster.
also I
Let-
just have something to add within
Okay.
10
Okay.
seconds. So,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
okay,
Thank
yeah,
so
you
no
so
Nasir,
much,
problem.
sir.
yes, I want to hear this
Yes,
also, Nasir. I want to hear this.
Yes, sir.
The fact that Foundation mentioned something the other time, right? That is, every failure is an opportunity to succeed. So now that you have known vanilla JavaScript, you still have more opportunities awaiting you. So far, you have a skill set, all right? So you have learned your lesson, like you have learned
Yes, sir.
something already. It will never happen that way. So that's good. So let me take the second question before we
Thank
move to the next speaker. Next question.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Joshua. So my question is, like, when Perfection was talking, he didn't really mention the work of a software engineer. Like, what do they do? What does the word software engineer really entails? And my second question is that what are the tools they make use of? Because yeah, let me say I'm just new to this space. So what are the tools they make use of? Is it JavaScript or all these programming languages?
Okay.
Yeah, that's my question.
Okay.
Okay, good. Good. You want the technical breakdown of the software?
Okay.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
word is something we throw around a lot, and I think it's like a unanimous stuff for different like fields. So when you call yourself a software engineer, it's basically somebody that can engineer software. It's like when I say I'm a mechanical engineer, it means I can engineer things that has to do with mechanics, things that have moving parts. That's the same way it is in software. When I'm a software engineer, it means I can build software. Now the question now breaks it down. It's like you're on the map, right? Then you're seeing Nigeria, then you zoom into Nigeria, you start seeing Lagos, Ikeja, and all of this. So that's the way it is. You're on software engineering, then you zoom into it, you start seeing mobile engineers, you start seeing front-end engineers, you start seeing back-end engineers, you start seeing DevOps, you start seeing desktop engineers, you start seeing cybersecurity engineer, right? Networking engineer. All of these things are all software. So in general, everybody can still refer to themselves as a software engineer. That's something that is just like one word that fits like different things. So now the tool they use depends on the field they focus on. Somebody that is doing backend will be using tools that relate to backend logics, right? You could be using Python, you could be using Node.js. That's something that goes around a lot now. Node.js takes advantage of JavaScript. So Node.js is just like the environment. So you could be using Python, you could be using JavaScript, you could be using TypeScript. Those two, TypeScript and JavaScript, go with Node.js. You could be using Golang, you could be using Rust, right? This all depends. You could be using PHP. It all depends on the field you are focusing. That's backend. Now, if you're on front end, you will definitely always need JavaScript. It's like the primary language of the front end front end being web, right? Front end being web front end. So all these web interfaces you see make use of JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, right? Then if you decide that you want to go into networking, you also need a programming language, right, to undo things related to network. And you also need other tools that are like custom to people doing networking, right? So if you want to go into cybersecurity, you want to be fault proofing things, right? You have to still learn a language, probably something like C, C++, all of that. You focus on different things. It all depends on the aspect you're focusing on, but software engineer is just a general name. You could decide to go into being a DevOps engineer, right? So it still corresponds to software, but it's just which part of software, the development and operations of it, right? So you could decide to like go into that particular aspect of it. So okay, you'll be using tools like Kubernetes, you'll be using tools like Docker, Argo CD, Grafana, all of that. So it all boils down to like which part you're focusing on.
All right. Perfection, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, can we jam our hands for perfection? Can we jam our hands for perfection? Like, I want to see it happen. Yes, you can drop it on the comment section. He has really said a lot. He has really said a lot. So, guys, I want to do something for quickly. I want to go on our website. Not our website, sorry, on our Instagram. Just Cholatrek. I want you to go there, follow us, like, and come back. Follow us. You don't have to leave the network, so just do that as fast as possible. Cholatrek. Just go on Instagram now, Twitter, and anything. Click the picture that you see there. Take a screenshot. You can send it on Twitter. You can do anything, and I will let you know whatever I want to do with that later on. And comment on the post on Instagram. So a post has been sent. Comment on that post. Do anything. Engage it, and do everything that you need to do.